Hello fellow mathematicians. Today we're going to be working with area. So last year you would have done stuff where you folded paper and things like that to derive formulas. We're just going to jump straight into how we apply the formulas to calculating areas. So the learning intention today is you will be learning how to use the formulas for different 2D shapes to calculate the area of that shape. Now the area of a shape is just how much space, so it's got here is the size of the total space inside a shape. So as long as it's a 2D shape, we can find an area. The basic unit is usually meters squared. If you're talking about houses and stuff like that, they are calculated in meters squared. But in our class, we will be using all the units, and you'll need to be able to convert between them. Millimeters squared, centimeters squared, meters squared, and kilometers squared. So this is going to be a very basic video. So the steps, and I'm going to be pedantic about it. Steps for calculating area when you know the rules. So around the room there are rules already given to you with a picture, but you need to commit these to memory. So note, you will need to have access to the rules or formulae. So that means whether it's on a piece of paper, up on the wall, or pulling it from your head, you need to know. So the first thing you're going to do is identify the shape. So whether it's a square, rectangle, trapezium, kite, those sort of things, you need to know what the shape is, match the rule for the shape. The next thing you need to look at is, are they the same units? Because if they are not the same units, you need to convert them. So it's just something to keep in the back of your mind that we will be doing in class. Step 2 is draw and label the dimensions according to the rule. So just like I have when we did Pythagoras, I like you to draw the shape. It doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't even have to be to scale, but draw what you see and put the dimensions on it so you can label it. It is setting yourself up for success. Once you've drawn and labeled the dimensions, what I want you to do then is write the rule, and yes, every single time. I cannot stress it enough. Every single time. This way you will end up actually memorizing the rule. Sub the values, so swap the letters or the dimension labels for the values. Calculate according to the rule. Round to appropriate decimal places, and don't forget the units. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Let's start with example 1. What shape is this? Now to be absolutely precise, so we're looking at this shape here, example 1. What shape is this? So hopefully you can identify that it is a square. Now I haven't written the area, so you'll see square. Hopefully you know what the rule is. This is what you will fill in. Notice I draw a little square to remind myself. Equals the side length squared, and if you don't remember what that means side length. Notice I don't make mine look like 5s, they got little doovy things. That's what squared equals. I'm just emphasizing that because some people seem to forget. So in this case I've got S, so this is me labeling the side, write the rule. Area of a square equals S squared. I write the rule every time. Then I sub the values. So S, I sub it out for 3. I don't try and calculate it until I've written 3 as in subbed and then it's squared. So in this case 3 squared is 3 3s are 9, and it is units squared. Now it's units because, see how there's no units? I don't know what it is. Okay, the next shape, 6 by 5. So hopefully you know that that is a rectangle. Oops, rectangle. Now focusing on my rules again. The area of a rectangle is length by, now I'm Victorian, so I write width. In New South Wales they often write breadth, but I write width. And it doesn't matter which way, it's fine. So now I'm going to label my sides, length and width equals 5. Write the rule every single time the area of a rectangle equals length by width. Sub the values. L equals 6, width equals 5. Notice they are in the same unit, so that's why I hadn't thought about any further. So centimetres, centimetres, 6 5s are 30, and that's going to be centimetres squared. Why is it squared? Because really this is, just to emphasise, this is 6 centimetres by 5 centimetres. So 6 times 5 times, now I'm just going to put the units down here, centimetres times centimetres, that becomes 30. That becomes anything times by itself once. How many of them are there? Is centimetres squared. Next one, area of a triangle. Sorry, hopefully you can see that this is a triangle. Now it's not the normal triangle that you see. I picked that on purpose. It's a pushed over one, so it's an obtuse one. One thing I need you to notice, I just used Pythagoras to put that dimension there, is that I need to use the perpendicular height. Now perpendicular means that I have a right angle there. So we'll have a look at this. Again, no units, so I'm just checking while I do it, while I'm looking there. This is a triangle. Let's go and have a look at the rule for a triangle. So an area of a triangle equals half base times height. In Year 7, when we were deriving formulas, hopefully you had a rectangle that you folded in half, which was a base times height rectangle, and then when you halved it, you could have seen that it created a triangle. So it is half a rectangle, basically, is what an area is. Okay, we've done that. So my base is going to be 7. So you see how it's the base of my triangle. Now the perpendicular height, so that's the height at a right angle. So I'm ignoring the 5, don't care, don't care. The height is 4. So I've labelled everything. My area of the triangle, I write it every single time, half times base times height. Now I don't have to think of it. There's base, there's height. Half times, now the base is 7, the height is 4. 7 4s are 28. Half of 28 is, and it's going to be units squared, because again it doesn't have any units. It's probably giving you a hint that the next shape is a parallelogram. So again, just to make sure we have all the markings on it that we should have. So a parallelogram is a pushed over rectangle. So in class, when you were deriving, hopefully you realised if I cut that out and put it in there, I would end up with a rectangle. So just imagine that we've created a rectangle. Okay, so that's how it works. So it's just base times height. So base equals 6, because that's the bottom of my rectangle, and height equals 4. Write the rule of a parallelogram equals base times height. Now I'll sub my values. 6 times 4 is 24. What are my units? Centimetres times centimetres is centimetres squared. And there you go. My example 5 has disappeared. Trapezium rule is probably one of the hardest ones, but it's basically, it looks like a rectangle that's pushed over a bit. So it's very similar to our base times height thing. But the difference is, can you see that in this case, this parallel line, these have to be parallel. This top one and this bottom one are not the same measurement. So it is not a parallel line. They're not the same measurement, so they are not a parallelogram. So, but it's the same sort of concept. What we do instead is we take the average of the top and the bottom. So I'm going to write the rule for it. Equals A plus B, so the top plus the bottom, and it has to be the parallel side ones. And because there's two of them, we divide by 2. Now, hopefully you remember when it's a fraction, it means it's divide times by the height. Okay, so we're going to label this A, we're going to label this B. Now see how we've got all these different measurements? The only thing that I'm interested in is this again, the perpendicular height. This is at right angles to the base. Next step is write the rule. Area of a trapezium equals A plus B over 2. I'm just putting it in brackets, times the height. Okay, sub the values. What does A equal? Oh, look at that, 4 centimeters. What does B equal? 5. Divide by 2, so 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 times 6. So we'll put it in the calculator. So it equals 27. And look at that, the units are all in centimetres, so centimetres times centimetres is centimetre squared, so that would be the answer. I hope this is enough information to give you confidence to tackle the area problems on your own.